2025 at 6 p.m. Please stand for pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That thing's not turning.
Roll call. Mr. Boston here. Mr. Cole here. Mr. Gore here. This time we'll listen to public comment.
My name is Stephen Davis. I live at 189 Lively Road. And I just had a couple of brief comments that I'd like to make about, I think we need a comprehensive water plan for the township next year. I know like the board has some work on some of that, but I think we really need to sit down and see where the needs are. In my traveling around the community, I noticed a lot of people had problems with water based on line pollution and subsidence problems. And also some people had problems with water quality based on the amount of water they would get from their well. And there's others, people told me they just couldn't afford to fill the well. So I think we need to develop a plan to see where the needs are and to see how we can solve it. Looking at the areas that I saw that had the most pollution were, of course, I think you're all aware of the Hickson Road and Bridge Road in that area in there. And of course, I think they should be one of the highest areas of priority. I know Hickson Road has some commercial water, Tri-County, but each month some of these people get notices saying the water doesn't meet the quality of drink. And that's something we should either address with Tri-County or try to resolve it somehow. And what I've heard is they don't really flush their lines, so the people at the end don't get quality water. And they've been told by the DEP they can't drink it. The other thing I noticed is that we have some money in the budget for it, but obviously there's not enough money to cover all the needs I can see once we develop this plan. I don't know if you saw the issue that, or the document that Senator Bartolotta passed out about, did you see a copy of that? Okay, I'll give you a copy. She had a newsletter she put out that talking about how they got grant money for Amarillo Township. And they got a lot of money from the DEP, $2.5 million. And that was to fund problems with coal waste in mines, not mines, those coal mines. And they received that money based on the DEP grant. And I think we should be taking action to look at that and see how they did it. Maybe talk to them in Amarillo and see what was involved in getting that done, because we never will have enough money to get everybody water. But if we can look at that and maybe explore that avenue, how we can get DEP grants. If you have any questions, let me know. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Mark, I can call Christine if you'd like, or Al, the secretary, and see what they did. If you'd like me to.
Okay.
I'm just jumping in if there are other speakers.
Yeah.
Just two things. One, just maybe selfish on my part. Did any of you ever find out that I wasn't lying about what happened with St. Louis and the reports? After you all said that no, I was.
Speak up.
I said I asked if they ever found out after they lied on that video that I made up the stuff about the state police report, and I convinced them to do this, even though the reports would have been followed the state, and it is an ongoing investigation. I was just curious, did you ever verify that what I had said was true? Any of you?
We've not done anything more.
Okay, cool. The next question I have is, which is concerns everybody who lives here, is the allegations that were made back in whatever month about the sexual harassment and all that stuff. And you know, that may be a confidential going on, but my concern would be, is there anything that has gone forward from whether it's a legal case, whether anything's and if it hasn't break, maybe it won't, okay?
It had the, it's being handled by the township insurance company,
Okay, got
and
it.
there's nothing.
So they're dealing with it, but there's no real,
There's no, you're dealing with it, there's no settlement or anything happened. No,
Okay.
the insurance company is taking care of it.
so, not to be annoying, but there's no settlement or anything. Does that mean that there may be a settlement and then we're coming
It's an
on?
insurance company, of course,
Of course there.
they're gonna see what's selling a case of that.
So is that something like, do we have a general, I lied, this is more than two questions. Is, hey, at least I admit it. Point is, do we have like a general liability policy, as it covers all of these kind of things? I don't know the answer to that, I'm just curious.
I'm not sure about it. Whatever it is, this is covered by.
Good.
insurance.
Good, okay. And then the only other question I have is, is there anything that could be potentially a problem, whether, I'm not talking about, I don't even bring it up, the whole issue thing and everything, but that is going on in the township that maybe could be either you guys notifying the public, or, and again, if it's a confidential thing, I get it, but I was just curious. Good.
They're gonna find you one of them.
Huh?
Are we talking about the harassment case?
No, I'm talking about any other issues that the township may be liable for. Because if the township's liable for it, it's gonna cost everybody money, assuming the issue. That's why I just asked. All right, thank you.
See, sometimes you can't get no beer.
Kathy Kennedy, 2 Crowley Lane. I just wanted to give a report on the country Christmas that took place on Saturday night, which was the 6th. I would like to introduce a couple people that are here that was on the team and let you know who the team was that pulled it off. It was an awesome evening. And we have Kim French back in the back. And we have Paula Slagle and her husband Scott. We do not have Stephanie Gray, who's not here, Mercedes Luff, and Debbie George. And a big thank you back there to the Grants, Jared, for all that they did to pull that night off. We had approximately 138 kids, and approximately 300 plus people came through here. The feedback has been phenomenal. Everybody was very happy, had a great time. Everything went smooth. Our budget was $3,000, and we spent $2,508.69. So we were $491.31 under budget. Our basket raffle, and I want to thank everyone that donated a basket. Our baskets were beautiful. They really boosted the ticket sales. So the total on the basket raffle was $1,689, which goes to the food pantry, which provides a lot of food for a lot of people. We're always seeking more volunteers, so if anybody would like to volunteer, we're always seeking more volunteers. I would like to thank the board members, the supervisors, and the future supervisors who came and they manned the greeter tent, which was awesome for our residents to come up and see who our supervisors were. And a big thank you to Joe and Mark, Joe for handling that Pennington without, he had his hands full with that one. But also Mark and the guys that work here they went and got the tables and the chairs and they returned them, and we really appreciated it, and thank you to the cleaning people because the floor wasn't some soft. We are planning on, if the board approves, when they're next year, we would like to have the Easter egg hunt again, and we look forward to more community events. And I am aware that there was a grant given to the township, and I'm just going to speak up a little bit. I think it would be really good to get more community events going without actually spending any money other than the initial investment, which I know there was a $25,000 grant for the park and recreation. That if we could purchase a projector and a large screen and do movie night in the park, and where everyone would bring their own chairs, they would bring their own snacks, their own drinks, no alcohol, of course, out of one of our parks. I just great suggestion and nice for the community. I also, last December, EQT donated the food pantry an AED unit. And unfortunately, you just don't leave something like that laying around. So it's actually been locked in the kitchen back there where the pantry stuff is, which is not usable for the public. And I wanted it to be usable for the public, so I went ahead and purchased the AED box, which is over there, to put the AED in. That way it is accessible to the workers, to the community, to anybody that comes through the door. God forbid we never need it, but we have it if we do need it. And thank everyone that came out and made Saturday night a big success. Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul Myers, 205 Thomas Road. I have a couple things. I've been looking at the road occupancy permits that we've been issuing, and I see that there's a lot of controversy. We've had meetings where the workers are staying on the roads, they're not speaking English. I would recommend to the board that as of now, that they repeal those permits so those companies can come into compliance with the township rules and regulations. Now, we have pipes sticking out on roads. We've got holes that have been dug in the road that are backfilled with stone. We gotta plow that roads. So I would suggest that you tonight repeal those permits until they can come into compliance and then apply for new permits. The other thing that I have is, if you would, when you're doing the reorganization advertisement, if you would advertise for a executive session for personnel on 1/2/26, that's the Friday before reorganization, and I'll have to get the Tim's on the time for that. That's all I have.
The ones that are digging around the telephone poles, they're in compliance. I was wrong.
Yes, no, that's a total different story. I'm looking
If
at
they're
the ones
labeled,
in the right of
their
way.
names are on the vehicles, they're
Yeah.
pretty much all.
We have boxes that are being put in the gutters, in the shoulders. Like I said, pipes sticking out.
They have their signs up, their vehicles are turned on.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Greg Spurdy, 92 Wall Road. I have three questions. First one concerns the township website and the minutes of prior meetings. This is probably the third or fourth time I brought this up. When I go over, I can only find minutes of two meetings, the 13th of August and 22nd of September. That's 11 months. We've had 11 months of meeting, and some months more than one meeting per month, and only 2 months are available. Why is that? No one on staff capable or willing to upload them? Are any of the supervisors able to fulfill this task, or is it more convenient to keep the public in the dark and have them resort to RTK requests? Seems to me that the form is a lot less time and effort than the latter. Secondly, what action has been taken by the township with respect to the massage parlor being given the occupancy permit in the B1 zone when such business is permitted only in B2 as a special exemption?
They were notified if the permits revoked, and they had to file an appeal to the zoning hearing.
Okay, that's for my next point. If appeal has been taken also, and this is even more important, who's liable with respect to any legal actions
the township as a whole, or does it, a responsibility lie solely with municipal consulting services?
It's too early to speculate on that, Craig.
Pardon me?
It's too early to speculate on that.
So you have to get the,
Since it's on hearing board does.
okay. Lastly, under new business in tonight's agenda, what is the Community Safety and Property Rights Act being voted?
That's a request submitted by a township resident for the township to amend their ordinance, zoning ordinance.
The gun orders?
I don't call it gun ordinance, it's what it says right there, what it's titled.
Well, that's pretty ambiguous. Any,
Well, they're not gonna make action on it other than send it to the planning commission.
okay. The reason I'm asking that, I need to ask where section 607, 608, and 609 of the PA Municipality Planning Code fall in, before enacting this amendment, before enacting this amendment. The governing body shall hold a public hearing thereon pursuant to public notice. That's in section 609B. It seems that the board always attempts to enact legislations unilaterally without public comment. So if you're going to vote on a ordinance, it has to be published before.
Don't worry about it. They're gonna send it to planning, and planning will review it, if it gets that far,
Then why is it on the agenda tonight to?
because the board has to take action on it, to send it to the planning commission. They just can't do it, they have to have a meeting to send it to the planning commission.
That's not what, then why doesn't it say this on the agenda?
It has to be on the agenda for them to act on it.
Yeah, but why doesn't it spell it out?
Aren't you supposed to vote on it, yea or nay tonight though, whether to
No.
send it to the planning board or not?
The planning code that Greg is quoting says that that proposed amendment needs to be sent to the planning commission first for review and recommendation. And they send it back to the board, and the board will take action whether to proceed with it or not proceed with it.
I was under the assumption they voted tonight whether to
No.
send it to them.
They can't, they have to send it to the planning commission.
But since it's not
I'm
clear,
not the only one who thought that. I imagine
Yeah, that's what I read, right?
Mr. Fordyce and I are not the only ones in here that thought that. So, maybe if you could be a little more explicit on the agenda, it would relieve a lot of confusion.
Roger Rainey, 347 Rainey Road. Wanted to ask a couple questions about the 2026 budget. Obviously, as any of you that have taken a look at the budget, there's a outstanding item of $2.7 million water project. And any requests that we have made to receive information about this $2.7 million project has been refused by these three gentlemen. So I think tonight, I would just like to ask, would you give us some information about what's involved in that $2.7 million line item?
That $2.7 million is in the Pliget account, making 4.22%.
yeah,
And it's not for short for water or anything, it's just really a township. What's that? Yeah, I mean, capital improvements, anything like that.
It's listed on the budget as reserve water sewer projects, specifically as it was listed in the 2025 budget as well.
That's not the case, bro, it's just that it's in that Pliget account.
But this is the budget. The budget says we have 2.7 for water sewer project.
so that needs to
nobody, all requests to define what this project did happen last year. We had it last year also. The 2025 budget also had $2.7 million budgeted, and any attempt we made to get a description of what was in that was refused. We haven't gotten it. We still don't have any detail, and it's in the budget again.
Well, any project will have to be designed by an engineer and advertised and voted on by the board.
Shouldn't there be a public hearing?
Pretty much.
So why is it in the budget?
Because they made an allocation for capital projects, that's why.
But it doesn't say that.
So how much, I know you guys are working, my understanding is you're working on the Hickson Road, Ridge Road project. How much is that going to cost us taxpayers? Because I don't believe, I'm not aware of any grants that have been issued to the township for one.
So we applied for 2 grants, $800,000 each, one from the county, one from the state. So we haven't heard back from them yet on that. The water project that we want to do takes it all the way down to Lovett Road and puts a fill station in that we desperately need in our township. I would say just, I don't know exact figures, but somewhere around 1.6 or 1.7 to get it to there.
Million.
Yes.
Township taxpayer money.
Yes. But it looks like if we get both of these grants, it could be very little.
So you guys gonna do it whether you get a grant or not?
We'd like to.
What are these projects? I mean, you have defined projects. You're running water to some point, but you won't tell us.
Well, I just told you, we want to run that fill station to Lovett Road.
From where to where? Which water company? Exactly how long? I mean, this is
Tri-County.
You have an engineer working on. You have an engineer working on this project that's made drawings and there's exact details. Nobody's been explained exactly what these projects are. There's been no input from the public on the nature of the project. So there's a lot of people in the township that want water. Isn't the right way to do it to have a meeting and let people give you input on where they want water? Openly discuss what's planned. Right now we have projects that we're doing engineering on. Is that correct? You're applying for grants and nobody knows what they are.
No engineering on it yet.
How can you apply for a grant?
Trying to get grants.
But how can you told the grant says where the water's going, right?
That's where we want the first phase.
Right, but you've told the grant organization where the water's going, but you won't tell us.
We've outlined this a lot. That it's coming halfway up Dixon, down Ridge, up Shortcut, down School, a little bit on McElvain, and down Lovett to put the fill station.
How many, so if we taxpayers spend 1.6 million, my understanding is then that 10 homeowners or less will have that water available to them. Is that correct?
No, it's more than that.
How many?
I want to say about 18 like actual homes, and then there's 3 or 4 businesses.
What's the businesses?
What's that?
What are the businesses?
2 of the businesses are,
Ice cream parlor.
no, one's a dairy,
Marchesex?
Marchesex is a dairy, and 2 of them are petting zoos.
Which is also owned by Marchesex.
And
Which is also
So it
Marchesex.
sounds to me that
then Hunter Trucking,
Mm-hmm.
one's 2 taps.
They're both owned by Marchesex. Right. Mm-hmm. Which they want to start a business.
Yeah, that was all re-advertised.
He's expressed interest, he's came to the township for years, the way I understand. I don't know, I've only been here 5 years, 2 as a supervisor, but he's expressed if could get water down there, that he would open an area at some point, make
He hasn't, but he hasn't been here for 5 years since you've been here. he has not been here for 5 years since you've been here. So what's the big deal?
Mr. Manchisa?
Yeah.
He's been here.
Here, in the meetings?
In here. He was at one. He spoke at one.
So can we get a commitment from the 3 supervisors and the solicitor before you're going to spend $1.6 million to give 3 businesses and 18 homes, which obviously you guys are interested in doing because you're going to vote on it tonight and approve a budget which doesn't need to be approved for 2 months. Are you going to have public hearings and give us an opportunity to have input on where we should spend our taxpayer dollar with regard to money?
Any action on will have to be listed on an agenda and posted on the website. Before action is taken, so you have the opportunity.
Then how can you approve the budget?
It would be nice if we had an opportunity to provide input and you would take some of the priorities from the taxpayer.
This has been going on a long time. The biggest thing about this water line is getting the fill station. There's a lot of people who need the fill station.
Why don't you have a fill station at 519 and 136? Water is there. It's in Somerset Township. The fire trucks fill up there all the time. Why not have you don't need to lay any water line. You don't need to spend $1.6 million. Negotiate with Pennsylvania Water and you have a fill station.
We'll take it under advisement.
What criteria do you use to decide who and who not gets water?
Really, the path that it's taking, we chose Lovett Road because it was there's a business down there now and it won't affect homes. We thought at one time we would have liked to try to put it over here at the township shed. But rethinking it, there was gonna be quite a bit of homes here and there could be people getting water at all times of the night. We didn't want to disrupt people.
Well, the article in the paper has stated that the Marchesaks wanted to do their dairy and everything, and their water problem has been solved.
What do you mean it's been solved?
Apparently,
The article in the paper said that.
It's
We've been trying to get water for how long, Jim? Long time.
well, they seem to think
Not for
it's
any
ready.
one individual, it's for the township. We're trying to do what's best for the township.
Shouldn't that be based on need, the way Steve presented his comments tonight? Who needs it? Not who you want to give it to.
Right, just because they're here?
There's, I don't know how many farmers and just people are hauling water.
Well, that's the
constantly.
point. You didn't go around and find out who needs it.
Hey, I'd like water. I'm here every week, or a business meeting. I'm here. I want water.
The problem is we've got 18 homes and 2 or 3 businesses for $1.7 million. I mean, that's about $80,000 per house and business of taxpayer money. And we've got about 1,200 households in the township. I mean, you can't spend that kind of money per house on 18 houses and 2 businesses.
We're at the point where there's been water routes suggested on just about every road in this country. We gotta start somewhere.
But you can't start at $80,000 a house. I mean, there's grants.
That's what we're doing.
There's grants, the water company pays money, there's a lot of people that need water. We have highly contaminated water from the mineways. And we have a grant, it's not a grant program, but the Center for Coalfield Justice and Duquesne University are doing comprehensive water tests to anyone that wants them for free. And they're testing heavy metals because these coal waste piles, and there's probably 100 million tons, there's 4 of them in the township, there's probably 100 million tons in mine 84. A large percentage of that are fines that are in unlined ponds, and they contain a lot of arsenic, selenium, and mercury, of which at part per billion levels in drinking water, it's unsafe. And they're beginning to test wells. There are wells on Hickson Road, and there's a well on Ridge Road, at 300 Ridge Road, that is contaminated to the point that the mine is paying to put the city water in, and they're paying the monthly water bills. They're just starting a water testing program. There's likely other wells in the township because there's 4 others of these waste coal sites. There's likely other contaminated wells that the mine would pay to do. So the concept is, and that's what Steve Davis is talking about, is having a comprehensive water plan that combines all these items, because spending $80,000 per household of taxpayer money to put water in for 18 homes and 2 or 3 businesses is not reasonable. We've got different ways of paying for this. We can get to the point where we can get water to the people that want them within the current resource basis, but spending virtually all of our reserve money on just 18 houses, and we haven't even, this is the first detailed discussion we've ever been able to have about that. We need to look at this comprehensively before we spend this kind of money, because we sure as hell can't spend $80,000 per house with 1,200 residences in the township.
Okay, next person.
Quick heads up, $80,000 at 1,200 occupants is $96 million.
I'd like to make a proposal to change your amendment to, if you get a grant to do this, by all means do it. But I think there should be an amendment made. I'd like to make an amendment to change that, so that if you get the grant, you do it. Otherwise, we have 519, there's water right down here by Greg, the pool yard, whatever you have there. And work on that to get people for filling up the water. I mean, what's wrong with doing it?
Can I add one thing? I haul water every day, and it's not because of me, okay? But I see what comes to these things. You have lines of big trucks, big tanker trucks. So you're gonna stockpile them along 519?
There's not that many trucks there, Joe.
I haul water every day.
Yeah.
I haul water from Dean's every day. I see what comes in Dean's.
I'm just
That's
saying
why
to
we're
make an
trying to put it
amendment.
where it's not gonna disturb nobody.
If you get a grant and you're gonna spend $80,000 on per house, and the grant's gonna pay for it, by all means do it. And
Hey,
move
it's
on
around
to
$1,300 a household.
then move on to the next road. That's all.
It's not $80,000.
My name is Johnny H. Jones, I live on Emory Road. My concern is how strong is our zoning to keep these data centers out of our township? There's got one proposed at Jennifer Station. It's massive. It's gonna take everybody's water if it goes through. We don't want all that traffic, all that noise, of the trucks running. I hope we have super strong zoning to keep it out of our township.
We're looking at all that now.
That's a massive project that nobody has seen any of the maps or read anything on it, it's been that meeting.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things that we had to be concerned with is, a lot of where those data centers went in, everybody's power went up around it. But like this one in Strabane that they're talking about, they were saying it's gonna be powered by solar and gas.
I don't care what it's powered by. I don't want it that close to my house. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Artificial intelligence, a computer.
Do you have to have something on the agenda prior to speaking or?
No.
My name is Cameron Lee, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the farm on 22 Sugar There was a bridge that was erected there. And I think that you got a grant for that bridge. I wasn't notified, at least anybody on Sherrill Lane, that that bridge was going to be erected. I know my brother lives on that road too and wasn't informed of it. I didn't find out about it until I drove to go to my mom and dad's farm and noticed that they were working on it. I asked some of the workers and they said, yeah, it's supposed to be 20 feet wide and then whittled down to 15. Well, it's not quite 11 feet wide, and my farm that's back there, I can't get any farm equipment across the bridge to get back to my farm. So I don't know if you know what the lifespan of that bridge is. I mean, it's a nice looking bridge, but it's so narrow that I don't know how to get any equipment back there to, or if anything can be adjusted on the bridge, or the other side fixed, or, I mean, I had the property back there appraised, and it's decreased the property value because of that narrow bridge.
I know we had issues about the water line that was there, and it's gonna be very costly to move it.
But, I didn't interrupt you, but the water line was only on the one side. Why couldn't we just went further, wider down the other
Because
side?
of some kind of easements or something that were on that side. We tried to do everything we could to make it as big as we could.
I mean, I know Somerset Townships, it's a rural community and everyone's proud of it being a farmland, but I can't farm now because I can't get my equipment across.
I really believe that those neighbors will let you in that bottom.
Well, can you answer me, why was no one contacted about that bridge being, or even?
Your brother signed.
Well, I asked him if anyone contacted me, he told me no.
He's one of the original ones that signed that asked to have it.
How long ago was that?
And they know how big it was going to be.
3 or 4 years.
5 years ago?
2020, yeah. Are you talking about Spud?
No, yeah, Spud Lane, but I live Sugar Lane off on the right.
Yeah, the Spud project started in 2020.
And we saw that. It's like, oh, well, we just have to take stuff across the old bridge. We can buy it 2 weeks later, it's gone. So like, I mean,
How wide do you need?
Well, I mean,
I mean, the
10 feet.
I mean, the guardrails on the inside of that.
They are on the
That's
inside.
restricted.
Yeah.
we got big stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
But I mean, if the guardrail somehow could be.
We heard, I thought,
the bridge.
it might help, but it might help. I mean, realistically, you know, it's just, I don't know.
But did you gotta go over top of the old one? The old one wasn't that wide.
Yeah, we went over top, I can take my mower and stuff over across that one.
Yeah, at least we didn't have it rail, that helped.
Yeah, the
It's not
rail
a
wasn't
call
that
answer, but, you know.
At least everyone fall in the bridge, in the water.
Well, yeah, it's a beautiful bridge.
What if
I'm not
we look
bitching
and
about
see
that.
if the rails can be removed from the inside? I don't know if they can.
We looked at it, it's a little challenging, I mean, it just, I don't know what the answer is, it just sucks, we didn't know, it was just a total surprise. We would have moved to water line, we would have paid for it, you know, I wouldn't, I didn't know.
I just wish someone would have notified me of it. And when I went by there, he said it was supposed to be 20 feet, and then, because the water line, then just kept getting whittled down. But,
The other thing I thought, all the new bridges, I thought, those would have to be like 16, 18 feet. Now, I know state would have to be over 20, but I know it's not state or anything. And I know it's the county that got involved, I understand that. But, you know, what can be done at this point? Is there anything that?
We can look into it.
Yeah, and I'm not even complaining, it's beautiful. I know a lot of people there are happy, it's big. And we see it.
The road wise is every bit as big as the old one, it's just the guardrails are higher.
yeah, I mean, it's even tight getting up.
And that's something that they had to put in because of, it was, part of their estates.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the work. I mean, I know there's a lot of work put into it. Like Jim said, it's a beautiful bridge. It's just so narrow, we can't get anything across. mean, that might be good this year, next year, but then what happens if they sell their property, or that might work the next year or so, but then what if they sell their property, or what if they don't want me going through there, or whatever I should do there? And then I'm back to square one.
We can get a hay rake, we measured our little bar hay rake, we didn't go through there. That's when we haul a hay rake, it's too wide. I'm like, really? That was, yeah, I get it, I mean, I know that she's had a lot on.
We'll check on it. We'll check
Yeah,
on
I
it.
don't know what the answer is, we just trying to see.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Chuck Chow, 161, we were 2 meetings ago. I was up there speaking on for half of lawn, 4 days, we got ready to well shoot there. At that particular meeting, I was confronted by Jared Rittenhour and his mom Jackie that said, "Why are you so concerned? You're not even allowed to hunt." Well, the state of PA gave me a hunt license, says I'm allowed to hunt. There it is. So, and then on top of that, Joey Rittenhour put on Facebook that I piss on my potatoes when I make French fries, and that I sell rotten jerky. So that's what you get from the Rittenhour. That's all I got. Thank you.
I guess that's freedom of speech. Good job, Chuck.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the minutes of the November 12th, 2025 meeting. I'll second. All in favor? Yes. Need a motion to accept the approval of checks, warrants, and transfers as listed and any other necessary transfer. A second? All in favor? Yes. Old business. Need a motion to accept resolution 8-2025 to adopt the final 2026 budget.
Figures.
All in favor? No. New business. A, need a motion to pass the,
To send that to the planning commission for review and recommendation.
need a motion to send it to the planning commission, for a recommendation. I'll second it. All in favor? Yes.
Could you speak up?
Can you make that public so that those of us that are interested can come to the planning commission meeting and comment on it? So you could make that public in the notes on the website so that, and when the meeting is going to be, so people will have a chance to comment and input on that.
Yes.
Need a motion for authorization of legal ad for the 2026 organizational meetings, January 5th and 6th. I'll make that motion. All in favor? Yes, it is.
Mark, question, not to interrupt, but the new ordinance that's proposed, we've all have our shooting range shooting, we're all grandfathered, correct? We should
We
be.
should know this if we're sending it to the planning commission.
Yeah, we should all be grandfathered, we've all been shooting for 20 years.
Your legal opinion.
C, need a motion to pay for the PSAT's boot camp for township officials.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Yes.
Is that a yes?
Julie, report?
share, $157,348. Act 13 fund, $2.7 million in the water and sewage project, and also $601,000 and $1 in the operational reserve.
Road department, Jeff?
Yeah, we went on to our first snow event this year, I think everything went fairly well. We had a couple of breakdowns, we did it and fixed and we're ready for the next one. I'd just like to take a little bit of time and thank everyone in our township for letting me serve as a supervisor for the past 6 years. I enjoyed it. Hopefully I did some well for the township, and I'd like to keep on working with them. I love working for the township.
Thank you guys for what you do. Those have been awesome. You guys are awesome.
Need a motion for adjournment? 6:46. All in favor?
How do you turn this on?
Yeah.